Like, what is it that Sharif Cooper hasn't done that I can say he should do to say he's done it all?
He won that championship. That was it.
Everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch Wild and Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch Wild and Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again.
It froze.
Well, damn. I'm your host, Mondre Allen. You are back. What episode is this? Episode 72.
72.
Love the game podcast. I'm with my co-host.
I always love when I have a technical issue at the very beginning of the show. That tells me what type of thing it's going to be. What's good? Hey, man. It's the Love of the Game podcast. I'm in here. My bad. We had a small issue. I got it. I think we got it fixed. Are y'all hearing that huge echo? Y'all good?
No, I'm not hearing anything.
I think it's gone. We got a great show lined up. I got a treat. My bad, Bryce. Was you in your bag already?
He was playing your role, man.
Hey, man, go ahead, bro.
He was playing your role.
Nah, you good? I did it. Love of the Game podcast. I'm your host, Mondre Allen. Hostess with the mostest. You know what I'm saying? Episode 72. We've really been giving y'all heat, man. Like, I just want to give a shout out to them boys, man, because really, shit, they've been working since the whole quarantine started. You know what I'm saying? The whole pandemic. That's 2 shows a week, Thursday and Sunday. You know, we're getting y'all that sucker-free Sunday and no suckers in our circle. You hear me? So, you know what I'm saying? We back live and direct. We got somebody on the show for you today. Just stay tuned.
Hey, I think I like Bryce's intro, man.
That was a nice intro. Only thing Bryce forgot to say, you ain't shout out no food. You ain't shout out no candy, no chips.
I left that for. Oh yeah, I didn't. You're right. I don't have no candy.
There you go. Hey, shout out to the corner store. They got the nerds with the gummy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gotta shout out some food. But my boy, I'm telling you, we got to get you in that extra large.
Yeah.
We got to get you in that extra large this year.
I'm on it, man. I've been on the treadmill so far every day this week. I'm on it, man. I'm really trying.
You been in the treadmill in the house, or you went to the gym?
At the crib. You know, I ain't going out. You know what I'm saying, like that. But I've been at the crib on the treadmill. I'm trying to. I feel like I'm always gonna represent the fat boys. I'm just not trying to be a fat boy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to.
You think this situation came from quarantine, from sitting in the house, or?
I put on no lie. I put on another 30 pounds during quarantine.
Bro, you don't see the intro and his neck. Look at his neck at the intro, and look at his neck. Now look at that shit. Hey.
It's kind of big up here,
bro. It's forehead, beard, then shoulders and chest. That's how you see it.
I gotta go back and watch the intro again. I can see it, but I would have never known if like y'all didn't point it out.
Bro, Hey,
why are you on me like this, bro?
I'm bad because I'm worrying about your health. I want you, man. You got to be a healthy guy, man. What's your diet? What you eating?
Yeah,
Like,
because me a
anything
lot.
you turn back? What's your diet?
No red meat.
So look, we're gonna talk about my diet. I brought somebody special on because I've been working really hard to change my diet, and this has been a big part of the change for me. I've lost 6 pounds. You know what I'm saying? In the last just about 2 weeks, I've lost 6 pounds. So I brought somebody on that's been a big part of my diet change and what I'm trying to do, live healthier, have more energy. I brought somebody on. Let's see if we can get him in from the back. Chef Mark.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey man, I wanted to bring you on, Chef, and talk about the service, man. I've been telling people I'm on my weight loss journey, man, and a part of it has been trying to stop eating so much fast food, so much processed food, and ran into a great thing with what you were doing, and wanted to bring you on the show to talk to all the listeners about what you got going on, advertise what you're doing, because I feel like it's been amazing. I just smashed one of your meals before the show.
Appreciate it, brother. Like we promote pretty much, you hear a lot about generational wealth, but you never hear about generational health. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
And what we started doing, and my wife and I was 240, and I started. She did it. Actually, she was the mastermind behind it. I was selling plates, but she said, "What about we sell food that's healthy, that'll benefit instead of it'll benefit us and them at the same time." So we did research with the keto, and we tried it ourselves. And I went from 240 to 210 within like a 4-month span.
Really?
Yeah, 4-month span. I was doing cardio, but it was 240 to 210 within a 4-month span.
Oh,
it was just
I know you about to get Mondre right.
Yeah.
I know you about to get Dre right.
I mean, it's not. I mean, then the thing about it is everybody think eating healthy is boring, right? So pretty much the keto consists of high fat, but you're able to enjoy your grilled foods, just like the cauliflower mac. We still give you the flavor as a soul food dinner, but it's healthy.
I'm going to just run down some of my personal favorites, right?
Yeah.
The curry cabbage bowl
Yeah.
is fire.
Appreciate
the
it.
blackened shrimp with the sauteed spinach. Oh no, they came with the broccoli. That's fire. The teriyaki salmon, my guy.
That sounds good.
That and the salmon with the mango joints on the top with the oh man, bro, like I'm burning them down. But my podcast exists of a lot of basketball people, so we always in the gym, we always on the go between practice, games, sitting in the gym all day. My man Mark delivers meals that are pre-packaged, pre-cooked. All you got to do is toss it in the microwave. To all the teachers that watch the show, you trying to pack your lunch every day, or you so busy grading papers and stuff after class that you don't have time to cook your own food. I promise you, before the show, I walk downstairs, pop one of my Jones in the microwave, perfectly portioned, where I don't get that, oh, I'm so full, I'm trying to go to sleep feeling, but I do get the satisfaction of I just ate this. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Perfectly proportioned. So all my basketball coaches, man, you put a little microwave in your office, a little small microwave in your office, you set, pop them in, you good to go. You can sit in the gym all day and not eat all the fast food that got me up to what I'm up to before I start losing some of this weight. It's a beautiful thing, man.
That's awesome. But like I was saying, I was saying, like a lot of people look at it meal prep. I mean, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't just do it. you know, a week on and a week off. You got to be consistent with it. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to fix my.
I think being consistent is and why Chef is getting his in is kind of easy to do because the price is right. You talking about 12 meals for $100, 12 meals for $120 if you get seafood with it. That's 12 meals. That's $10 a meal. Like when I go to McDonald's, I'm spending $10.
So my question for you is, prior to now, how many times were you eating fast food a week?
Almost every day. Not necessarily fast food. It was between eating fast food or eating out.
Because it's what you're eating when you go too. For
sure. So for me, like a lot of people don't realize, like, even though I was like, oh, Dre, you work from home. Yes, I'm up at 6 o'clock. My first meeting for the day starts at 6:30. I got my offshore team in India that I meet with every morning at 6:30. My day starts at 6. Like I'm working. Right? All throughout the day. You leave here, you go to the gym. I'm with my kids. Part of that is that I'm not great at cooking. I'm not great at shopping. So the convenience of it is amazing for me. Like to know that I have good food in there that I just go warm up. Like it's a beautiful thing to me, man.
So how do they deliver it or what?
I'll let Chef kind of talk about Chef, they're asking about the delivery service and how people can get up with you if they want to order.
I'm having the connection issues.
We hear you loud and clear, Chef. Can you hear us?
Let's see what's going on.
We got you loud and clear, man. I don't know if you can hear us, but we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I got you.
Man, I'm sorry, brother. I'm having bad connection issues.
Trust me, we all had it.
For sure.
Okay, we all had it.
Yeah, I think my wife, she should she should be on this call. If I can see Mark Adrian.
Yeah, I don't see her yet.
Yeah, but like I was saying, yeah, we do deliver 10-mile radius. Even if it's outside that 10-mile radius, we still deliver. But that's because I could have easily, got in the industry and like where I'm at now, I got a full house out here now, front to back. But what if I can do that, a restaurant like that, with just healthy food?
For sure.
It's not boring, healthy food that you can eat every day. Like, it'll be a McDonald's. Like right past McDonald's, oh, I need to go get my cauliflower mac, or I need to get my curry cat, my baked wings and everything else. Like, I mean, I see a lot of, you see a lot of people, a lot of successful people, they die in their early ages because of their health.
Yes.
So what's the point of having wealth with no health?
Right.
100%. I got to make sure that they can find you, man. To place your order and to take a look at the menu, you guys can go to Instagram and go to Chef Mark Adrian, man. Let me make sure I got his IG correct. Chef_Mark Adrian. So that is Chef_Mark.
I gotta get back in. I gotta get back to it though. So, hey, it's nice meeting y'all. I gotta get back to it.
Hey, nice meeting you. I'm definitely gonna come holler at you.
We'll be in touch, man.
Okay, well, look me up, man. It's a pleasure meeting all y'all.
You too.
For sure.
You too, bro, Mark. Chef Mark.
Hey, that is
Chef
Mark Adrian, man.
You said
Chef_Mark Adrian.
Gotcha.
I'm definitely going to rock with him.
Damn,
hey, Right. When you a bachelor, man, you don't like to cook and you ain't got no chick to cook for you. Like
Hey,
I
man.
literally had to just spend $11 on hibachi.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Damn, this should look good,
I
bro.
saw real. Yeah,
Nah,
that's him right there. That's him right there.
Mm-hmm.
He does. So, Dr. Love, that's a great point. He does do vegan stuff. Like when I told him that I have a dairy allergy, like he makes stuff kind of special for me off his menu because I have a dairy allergy. Man, he got a lot of great options. You know what I'm saying, on the menu. Like it's always good stuff. If you don't like seafood, he has other options that's not seafood. Like a lot of great stuff on the menu, but I just like it because it's easy, prepackaged, well prepared, flavorful food that I can just grab and go because I hate more than I hate cooking. I hate going to the grocery store.
bro.
Me too.
I hate it, bro.
It's the most because they say it's best to go to the grocery store when you're not hungry for food, so you won't just be grabbing stuff. But I feel like that's the way I have to shop because if I'm not hungry, I'm not gonna go.
No doubt.
I'm not gonna go because it's like, man, I'm like, if I'm hungry, if I'm not hungry, well, I'm going to the grocery store for right now.
If I'm not hungry, then I ain't thinking about cooking nothing. I'm busy.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's been a great blessing to me. So it allowed me to do a couple things. It allowed me to address my health. It allowed me to have something convenient that I could go eat. Also, the price was set right. But it also helped me support Black business. Which
I don't know who have them stamps, but if you got them peaches, we call them peaches where I'm from. You got them peaches. I got a good $80, $100. Give me about $200 worth of groceries. We can make something shake. That's the only time I really spend over $100 on groceries. Gotta have them food stamps, them peaches.
It's been a minute since I had the stamps, but back when I had them, they came in a booklet, and
yeah, I remember those.
And they was different colors. They had the brown joints, the green ones.
Green, yeah.
Now
you got the Georgia peach card. You got the peaches.
Yeah, I was out of there by the time they get the card. Louisville guys will eat anything. Any kind of chicken for the most part, yeah. But yeah, anybody in that Atlanta area, man, go holler at Chef Adrian. It was great stuff.
So what's your workout plan then?
For right now.
Food plan.
Right now, a lot of cardio, a lot of push-ups. I'm just gonna keep it real simple.
And cardio,
a
lot of push-ups.
You know, a lot of people are doing though. A lot of people are riding bikes. They go and get the bikes and they ride on
the trail.
Yeah.
You know, I did that. I went and got a bike. I did that. Bicycle seats hurt, bro. I don't know how I did that as a kid. Bicycle seats hurt. Like
that was your only transportation.
Facts. I don't know how I used to do that. Hours on a bike all day.
We stood up a lot though. We weren't sitting down too much. You know.
True.
Only time you sit down when you just hit it at a good speed and you just ride, you just cruise.
No hands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no hands. Then you got your partner on the handlebars because he can't ride a bicycle. Or he don't have a bike. So you up here pedaling up a hill with your homeboy on the handlebars, trying to get to the court.
Yeah, that was my main mode of transportation, man. I don't know how I did it though, because that I went and bought a bike thinking I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna cruise around the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Just ride around.
It's got to be some padding or something they sell at the store that makes it a little bit more comfortable. They got to be because like Black people.
Mondre don't even look right on the bike. Like, he has to get a real mountain bike, like a big ass bike.
I did, bro. I bought the little shorts that go up under my basketball shorts. They got the padding in them. It's not good, bro.
Nah,
it's not good.
Bro.
But if you really get into it though, That's probably the fastest way to get that calorie, so that the cardio in.
Hey,
I do it ain't my thing, but I know a lot of people.
Mondre bought the mongoose bite with the pigs.
Right.
that's why I hurt.
You buying a trick bike. You ain't buying a trick
bike. Not since middle school, not since middle school.
Hey, them were the joints on Christmas.
Yeah.
You get a bite with the pegs, the front pegs and the back pegs. Oh man.
Breaks off them joints. Yep. Ready to go.
Good old days.
Anytime you sit down with somebody on the handlebars. Hey man, I wanted to start with that, man, and then we can get to the nonsense for a minute and then get to basketball. But I guess I'll open it up to y'all. I know we watching all the craziness that's going on. I'll open it up to you guys for y'all thoughts on it.
I'm just saying I'm not really surprised. You're surprised, but it's like
I'm with you.
You seen the writing on the wall.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, us as black, we're looking like we seen this coming. This ain't got nothing to do with us. But I think it really hurts when you see the police land the gates open. Like, come on. All this security, and you just gonna let these gates open. So you could tell it was probably pre-planned, way ahead of time. You know, I heard they was doing like Facebook groups. Cause I heard like it was people all the way from Atlanta were going to DC.
Yeah, Kennesaw. Shit, one lady from San Diego.
Yeah. Rest in peace to the lady from Kennesaw that got killed.
Yeah. See, you know.
But I mean, that's what he said. You know, when he told them to stand by. That's what he meant. So, you know, it's not shocking. It just was shocking in the sense that it happened that day, and those that were not in the know. You know what I mean? Like they knew they were going to do it that day, obviously, or yesterday. But for us, we were, you know, so like Locke said, it's not surprising at this point. We've seen enough.
But it just how would you? Because me and my friends had we talked about this over the weekend. Just the mindset, like we don't even have the nuts.
Nah.
To do something like even with gang members, Crips and Bloods, like all the stuff they do, they don't even have the balls. Like, you know, I ain't anything dealing with the government. We probably steal from the government, but we ain't finna be dealing with the government. You know,
I don't think
if we go to DC and go to the Capitol, we going to the museums, we going to the monument, we going to the African American Museum, we're going to take pictures, sightsee. We ain't about to go because we know what time it is. If we
know what time it is,
we out of there.
There you go. That's what I was getting to, Bryce and Locke. When you said that, the first thing I thought of is that, we would never necessarily try to go and take over a federal building because we understand what the consequences are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Execution.
We have a clear understanding of what the consequences are going to be. And not to say that people don't do things, you know, there were, you know, police stations and stuff that was set on fire, but you're talking about the federal government, you're talking about taking over a federal building. You're not seeing guys do that.
They really did it. Like they really, really did it. And got in and sat down on people's desks and kicked their feet up.
Like, come on, man. You know.
Yeah.
There's no way that if somebody that looked like me, there's just not possible. Never.
No, you don't even have we don't even think like that. To
taking selfies with the police officer.
Nah.
Like we know the consequences.
And for them, I think they should be embarrassed. Because you know, it's one thing they always say black people do things. Like, no, that was somebody that looked like you. And they embarrassed you. And somebody come in your house or your office and they put their feet on your desk, they embarrass you. Like, you should be hot. There should be no discussion. You would have to be out of there.
I think, Dave, what I think, because of the messaging, we weren't necessarily surprised that they tried it. I think we all may be a little bit surprised that they actually pulled it off.
Yeah.
Or that it was that easy, that they made it look that easy.
It was that easy.
And
I think
it looked really effortless.
And I think that's what's being said. It's not, it's obviously they would try, but it's the fact that they actually pulled it off and police officers were, you know what I mean? Like that, nothing happened to them. I think that's not the shocking part.
They did it without anybody really putting up a fight. And this is with members of the Congress and members of Senate inside of the Capitol at that time. I think that's what made it. But I want to have a little bit of a different conversation because like my thoughts on it were, I guess, okay, like we tell kids all the time when they're being recruited that this coach is going to tell you everything in the world, that you the greatest thing since sliced bread. But when you get on campus, it's going to be something totally different. Mm-hmm. And we tell kids that all the time. When I see, it's almost like yesterday was a day of reckoning for a lot of people when it comes to the president. And I don't want this to be a time of like, oh, I told you so, and this, that, and other. But I think you do have to come to grips with understanding that a lot of people understood that I don't think the president changed during this time period, right? From the time that he lost the election until yesterday, I don't think that he changed. I think a lot of us understood that that's who he always was, and he always kind of talked like that. Mm-hmm. I think we did. Yeah, I think we saw this building up, and we saw like what was happening, and it's like, yo, we're reading the room like, yo, this is like, do you not see what's going on? You know what I mean? He's putting all these little groups together, but I don't want people who are just seeing it to feel like that they should be ashamed for admitting that they just saw it, because I guess anybody can be, if somebody's telling you what you want to hear, you can be manipulated or duped by anybody. We've seen it happen to a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm. And like you say, you seen the build up. So they kept getting bolder and bolder. They had 4 years to like, we got the courage to do this.
It's a weird little dance that we play in this country when it comes to stuff like this. Like, and I posted this on Twitter too. It was like, we try to explain what the Confederate flag means, and people kind of explain it away and justify it and try to say that it doesn't mean that. That I don't know if people understand what the "Don't Tread on Me," that flag, that with the yellow flag with the snake, that Tea Party flag. Like, we know what that flag means too. Mm-hmm. It's not a coincidence that a swastika, the Confederate flag, and the "Don't Tread on Me" flag are often seen together. That's not a coincidence. And we try to paint it out as if it is. It's not a coincidence that those three flags are often seen at KKK rallies. It's not a coincidence that those three flags that are also seen at KKK rallies all happen to support the same party. But we do this little dance in this country where we pretend that it's like circumstantial, events, or that it happens in a vacuum, and that's not like they tolerate that. And I don't want to make it seem like everybody that is a Republican is that, but you have to come to grips with the fact that there's a large faction of armed people that are a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is that they represent.
Mhm.
And that they were specifically tolerated, and not just tolerated, but emboldened
Mm-hmm.
and talked to and recognized by the president of the United States, and what that means. A message was sent to them today. When the president released his video today around 7:30 this evening, in the middle of what I thought was a good message, he said, our journey is just beginning. In the middle of a good message, he spoke to those people again. Don't you worry. Our journey is just beginning. He knows. He is very, very aware that he doesn't have a militia. He has an army. And we're allowing it. And for the life of me, like, it baffles me. And I don't want to hear anybody talk about Antifa, because, hell, you could throw them in that same group if you want to. I don't care.
Right.
Like, I don't know who they are. I don't know what they do or whatever. But if they're a part of this stuff, I think, people who are part of the Black Lives Matter protests often complained about people that were setting buildings on fire, showing up with bricks. It was all over Twitter like, yo, this ain't us. Like, look at who's doing this stuff. This ain't us, right? But we do this little dance and pretend like there's not an army being
Formed.
built right in front of our damn face.
Mm-hmm.
And I say an army because, like, let's stop saying militia, because everywhere they go, they show up heavily armed. We're talking about the same groups of people with the same beliefs. That this ain't the first time they've taken over a federal building.
Mhm.
They took over the state capitol in Michigan, did they not?
Yeah.
They got caught plotting to kidnap the governor in Michigan.
Yeah.
They took over a federal building in Oregon. This ain't the
It's nothing
first
new.
time. This is nothing new. But those same groups, and another complaint that we've consistently said is those same groups, when the marches happen, are always protected by police. I've seen KKK rallies. I've never seen one where police haven't been protecting them.
You seen a KK rally for real?
Yeah. How you see that?
Multiple. Yeah.
You bold.
Yeah.
You pulled up on a KK rally?
Say what, B?
You pulled up on a KKK rally? Or you just randomly ended up in?
I've been a part of a anti-protest before. Yeah. But I've never seen one that wasn't protected by police. They just had one in Rome not that long ago, and there was police protection surrounding them so they could do that. Which brings me to that.
Good topic.
Brings me to that point. Like Locke said, they were running around the Capitol building with the Confederate flag.
Yeah.
And still taking selfies.
Yeah. Relaxing.
With police officers. Which was a part of our point all along of saying, hey, some of these guys who are killing unarmed black men should not be police officers. That was the whole point. It was the whole point. And it's like we find little tidbits of stories to run off and miss
The point.
This entire big thing that's happening right in front of our face.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand it. Like I have one thing that when I talk to, I have a lot of friends that are conservatives. And one thing that I feel like shocks them and they don't understand is that when I tell them that, hey, do you realize how many black people will vote for the Republican Party if not for the racial divide?
Right.
Like a lot of us grew up in the church. I know I did.
Especially the ones that look for tax breaks and things like that. I mean,
I have a lot of conservative views.
mm-hmm.
I have a lot of conservative views. But no, I can't in good faith align myself with a part like, and we always try to downplay. And I think yesterday showed us just how many of those people there are. It's not a small amount.
No, it's not.
When we talk about the Confederate flag, swastika waving, KKK, like.
But no, what's funny though?
Those
some of those guys you see, you work with some of those guys.
100%.
Certain fields, you work with some of those guys.
100%. And I just want to all of my conservative brothers or sisters, all I'm saying is together, let's stop doing the dance. Let's stop pretending that this army that is being built that is a threat to all of us is something that we can just wish away. Right? Like, I have a friend who happens to be Jewish that for a long time has voted Republican and is a conservative. And I was like, yo, that doesn't bother you? That don't bother you that, you know, the same people who bother me with the Confederate flag, you know, like go anywhere, go to a NASCAR race and you see Confederate flag, Confederate flag, Confederate flag, swastika. They don't have a problem with that. Like, that doesn't bother you?
It doesn't affect their money.
Right.
We got
and their power.
It doesn't affect their money or power, so why would they care?
Good people, and you know what? I feel like if they took the time to think about it, it would. But we good people have to stop doing the dance, man. We have to stop pretending that this stuff doesn't exist.
You know what's also unfortunate is the fact that history yesterday was made.
Yes, I was about to say that exact same thing.
And it was overshadowed by all of that. And and for me, I think the issue that I have with it is like even like a basketball game. If I lose, I lose.
You lose.
Yep.
I might have a moral victory. I might play hard. We might have had a great game. We might have just came up short. We lost. I gotta go home. I lost. I can't, you know what I mean? The game is over with. I can't, and that's my issue that I have with them. It's like you lost, you're continuing to lose, and you still, you know, it's like it doesn't work like that. And for many people, for most of us, it doesn't work. We lose, we struggle, we fight, we do what we got to do. If we lost, we still lost. It's nothing that I can do about it. I lost. I have to take my stuff and go home.
But you know what? I think now they got to go back to hiding because think about it. We always knew there was people like that out there.
Yeah.
But they really came out these last 4 years.
But they're going to be out for a minute though.
They're going to be out, but now they're not going to be as much. Now you know you don't really have no backing. Before they had backing from the president. That's gone.
They thought they had backing from it. Mm-hmm. Like doing all of that. And you're or not even rioting, you're looting and doing. He didn't come out there and save you. You're not, you know what I mean? You guys are like, no, it's a fake backing.
And that's very important because I think the thing that people were trying to get across to people who supported the president was that I think what we saw very clearly is that he only cares about himself.
Right.
He doesn't care about the people, man. He don't like, and that's my issue with a lot of politicians, right? We got to stop playing these games with these politicians because they're all rich. All of these career politicians, like at some point, there was a Twitter thread where people put images of politicians' homes up on Twitter. All of them multi-million-dollar homes off of being a career politician, free healthcare, while we, the working class people who go to work every day for just trying to get by, are fighting with each other for what? For what? And look, not the biggest historian in the world, but if you ask me, why do I believe that Martin Luther King was really killed? Yes, his color had a lot to do with it, but what I really believe got him killed was when he started speaking to classism in this country and started getting all poor people to believe, like when the Jews started, when Jewish brothers and sisters started marching with Martin Luther King, understanding that, hey, if you're not rich, you're poor, and there's a different set of rules for you here, and that's not right. When he started speaking to the fact that, which we still do today, that rich people, it's socialism for rich people. If you're a poor CEO and you run your company into the ground, depending on what industry you're in, the government is going to bail you out. The government is not coming to bail out Locke if he spent too much money at the strip club. It's not going to happen.
Bro, don't why you put my business out there like that? There's COVID going on.
Any of us could be at the strip club, bro. I'm just saying, me, right?
You could talk about the football game from last week.
Yeah, I can talk about the money I lost on the football game from Sean.
But they're not. But you see what I'm saying? But they're not coming to bail you out.
No, they're not.
Bail them out every time. And that's we've been looking for it too. Like, can we get a bailout on some student loans or
100%? We just did it. We bailed out the airline industry when we were concerned about people working and having jobs. We could have gave that money directly to the employees. But I think when Martin Luther King started talking like that, and then people started to understand that we're more alike than different, and that's what, to me, that's what got him killed. We got to stop. You know, like for me, I feel like my perspective, growing up in Kentucky, growing up in Louisville, taught me one thing. When it comes to basketball, and when you live in the city, that Louisville-Kentucky rivalry is nuts. And it gets so delusional that sometimes it gets violent. I've been impacted by red and blue like my whole life. Like I showed you when Bangin' and Lil Rock came out, bro, Louisville changed forever.
That's something crazy.
When Bangin' and Lil Rock came out, Louisville changed forever. It was red and blue. People killing each other over red and blue. The same thing that they doing now. Beefing over red and blue. They give you a color. They give you a team to root for. They tell you the other side is evil and like they eat their own children and they don't care about nothing and all that. Like they give you some general stuff to paint people with a broad brush, and they watch us go nuts. And you know the one thing that never changes? The people who were in power never leave power. Because we too busy fighting with each other. And they just recycling the same arguments like over and over. Like when they were talking about during this election, like this is the most important election in American history. And I was like, yo, y'all said that when Obama was elected. I remember y'all saying that when Bush was running for president. I remember y'all saying that when Bill Clinton, like y'all say that, y'all recycle these same things every single election.
Yeah.
We're voting for the future of America. Like y'all hype this shit up to the point where every single year. But you know, a lot of those politicians are 80-something years old and have been in office the whole time. You know whose life don't change no matter what? Theirs.
Facts.
They get us to do the dance, man, and I'm tired of doing the dance because I feel like something dangerous is coming. I don't think this is the last time that we're gonna have to deal with Donald Trump, the current president of the United States. But in 2 weeks will be the former president of the United States. Will have more money, more power than he has ever had before, and a willing army behind him. And we're gonna act like, we're gonna act like January 20th that this is all over. That it's done. We got a new president. It's done. Now he about to open up his own cable news network. Like he about to it's on.
Hey, they say they supposed to pass out them $2,000 in them check, them stimulus checks.
The stimmy.
Y'all got y'all 600?
Nah.
I ain't got mine either.
You still got it?
No, I haven't got mine.
Oh.
Got some new investments if I do get it.
Yeah, I'm tired of doing the dance, man. I'm tired of the arguing back and forth. I'm tired of
what,
making
though?
it seem like.
How dumb could they be? Because you taking pictures in there, you on camera.
Oh my god, bro!
That's almost like a posting his guns and stuff on Instagram.
Bro,
Exactly like that.
like what all the evidence do you need?
Times a million.
Hey man, I was fortunate enough to grow up like right in between the projects and the trailer park, so it just let me know how not different we really are. Like for the people who make fun of black people for buying rims, like I walk up to white folks and ask them, what size are your tires? You just go buy a truck with big tires on them.
Same thing.
It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing, man. Like we are so much the same, bro. Like, but
they definitely pregame yesterday for that. They had to be high and drunk. Had to be off at whatever.
Oh yeah.
Something.
Oh man, loose.
You're not going in there sober, like
no.
Bro, I listened to one of those dudes. He was cursing out a black officer, and then he's telling the officer that racism was created by Obama.
Wow.
And I was like, how? What? It was created by Obama. It was like, yo, the left is using you and you're falling for it. They created racism. It didn't exist. Like he told the officer that reparations was a topic that was created to stir up racism in the country. He was like, how do you think white people are going to feel about you if we have to pay you? And I was like, you mean for the work that was done for free? Like that's gonna cause racism. Oh, okay.
He probably like that dude who was I forgot what he was saying though, but he was in the middle of the protest, black dude, and they were on Twitter like, well, we can tell he don't like Black Lives Matter. Look at his fade. He had a bowl. Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah.
You could tell. Gosh. So
I don't even know if I could call that a fade. That was
I wouldn't have. It was just they took the people and just said you down the side. He got him out the chair. Like damn,
that was something different.
Yeah, this shit crazy though, bro. This shit crazy. Like when I seen that shit, I was like, you know what?
We gotta come on, man.
It's time to load them up. Time to load them up, champ.
It is.
Unfortunately,
it's gonna you know, I fear it's just my fear is that it's just not over unless good people come together.
If they can get rid of his voice, yes, he'll go create his own platform. But if they can get him off Twitter, that alone stop a lot.
Mark Zuckerberg already banned him off Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, but he get his shit off on Twitter, like the basketball scouts.
I'll be honest and say that I had no idea. I had no idea how powerful Facebook was. Like people really on Facebook, like paying attention.
The people that you saw yesterday, those people use Facebook.
Like real life.
No, he's right. He's absolutely right.
That's their life. For us, we on Twitter and Instagram or whatever. Nah, they're on Facebook. They're on Facebook.
I was bugging.
Yeah.
I was bugging. Shout out to all our viewers on Facebook. I am tripping that. I'm only on there because my grandma is on Facebook.
That's wild. I was thinking about that.
It was on your head, Dre.
Oh, yeah, they was on
your head. For something stupid too.
I understood what you meant though, and I feel like they was captain in their argument. Like, come on, bro, you ain't gonna let no 17-year-old kid dribble like that, like James Harden, and do all that and set his man up for 15 seconds. Come on, bro. You know you're not going for that in no live period. Come on, bro.
I think what it was is they took it too personal and they made it about James Harden when I wasn't even really talking about James Harden. I was talking about basketball. Especially kids.
Even if you was talking about James Harden. Like,
but it's funny. Like I told somebody, I say, y'all complain about that, but we didn't ever really complain about and one. Like James Harden grew up in the and one era. That he's doing nothing else what Hot Sauce did. That's all he's just getting the bucket instead.
He's doing the NBA version of what you're explaining.
Yeah, Hot Sauce. Yeah, he's doing the NBA version.
Without carrying, without traveling, he's doing what he wants to do.
And my thing was, bro, like I ain't mad at James Harden because the NBA, at the end of the day, and that's why I tell kids not to watch the NBA, to watch college. The NBA is about entertainment.
Yeah.
They hooping, yes, but especially during the regular season, they're keeping us entertained.
Pretty much.
Like, check the playoffs and they'll start hooping. You know what I'm saying? Most of them start hooping for real, but like, they're keeping us entertained. So when they can throw away 10 possessions in a game to keep us entertained because they understand how to manipulate the game to where when it's really game time,
time to strap up.
Yeah, they hoop it. But no, if as a kid, if you're playing like that, and what we're talking about is it was a clip of James Harden where he dribbled 21 times on a single possession.
Yeah, like come on, right? You know you're not going to offer a kid.
He's not a layup, but he real life. I'm not exaggerating. We counted. He dribbled 21 times on a possession in one spot, and then got a layup. And I said that if I come to your game and you play like that, I'm leaving.
I would too, because if you can't beat your defender in 3 or 4 dribbles, shit. Like, come on, man.
I don't want to watch that.
That to me, like, and I'm not just saying it, Dre, because because I'm biased, but I felt like that shit was kind of crazy to me. Like, damn well, you don't even let your kids do that in the program. So why are you going to say it's a difference between being able to get a bucket on your own and creating space and dribbling 30 times.
The crazy thing that got me about it too, Bryce, about the whole conversation is when people accuse me of trying to go viral.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that was
bro.
That shit was funny, bro.
That shit was funny.
I was like,
up when he wrote that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
But you know what's crazy though? No one ever said James Harden was their best favorite player to watch or best player.
Right.
No kid would ever say that. I never heard a kid say James Harden's my favorite player.
But how would saying so? I'm just saying, how would making a comment on something like that go viral? Like,
Hey,
Yeah.
Dre, only thing I can say, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So you popping. Popcorn popping right now. You ain't got no haters, so he's gonna hate.
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, and you
But
know, I'm sorry, like
if you
any
take
nigga-
21 dribbles on a possession, I'm going in the aux gym. I'm
Come on.
leaving.
Man, ain't
I'm not
nobody, ain't nobody doing that, and nobody's allowing their kids to do that. You might,
No.
you might get 4 dribbles at most, maybe 5. You get 5 dribbles, you in a good spot.
Hey, you
and
see
those 5 dribbles are not between the legs.
Yeah, they still trying to get to the cup or something.
You see what that coach said when he said I was capping, and I was like, "Hey, pull up to Atlanta, and I'm gonna show you a bunch of kids that play like that. Like, I got you. If I'm capping, go offer some of these kids." And then he started laughing. Yeah, no, don't laugh now, coach.
I think it's the difference between being able to get a bucket and what you were saying. I got it clearly. Yeah, that was interesting though, I guess. And you know, another thing what I have realized also by not coaching this year is everybody's basketball mind is completely different.
Yes.
Of course.
There's not many people who have similar basketball minds. Like, it's rare. You know what I mean? Like, me and Lot, we probably got similar basketball minds. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. But like somebody that I don't know or I've never seen, I had to sit down and have a conversation. He's looking at the game totally different than how I'm looking at the game, which is why that tweet caused that stir up.
Yeah.
Everybody looks at the game completely different, which is the craziest shit ever.
I be forgetting about that too, Bryce. I be forgetting about how many people aren't in the gym watching live period. And I forget how many people aren't viewing the game through the lenses of what it takes for a kid to get to the next level. I don't know what they be looking at.
Well, you know, I think sometimes, especially like with the older guys, they don't realize the game has evolved.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, you know, they are stuck on doing the duck ins, the high lows, you know, running things through the bigs. You know, they're not traditional bigs anymore. It's a guard game now. Everybody wants to be on the guard. Everybody wants to be on the wing.
Hey, Locke said duck ins and high lows, bro. Hey, these are good.
No, I'm saying you still run it.
You're right, Locke.
But
you're right.
You know how many normally if you're doing a duck in for the kid, he's an undersized big. He's not a true big. He's an undersized big. Because that true 6'8" big want to be on the wing.
Yep.
And that's a good point. I've seen a lot of kids this year as well that won't buy in to where they actually should be on the floor. And because of that, their team ends up losing games. Notice a whole lot in like not coaching. I've noticed a lot of stuff.
I'm waiting on Bryce to come out and really.
Oh, he got something to say. He's just not bringing it out. He has
Bryce
something
has been pointing out a whole lot of bad coaching, and I 100% agree with him. And I'm just waiting for him to come and bring it out.
Watching every level of basketball too. And see, the difference is when high school, like with high school bad coaching, it's high school. It, you know. But college, bro, no. I don't like that shit. To me is crazy. Like you don't have I was watching the game last night. The team goes on a run. You don't have one play in your back pocket that you know your team can execute every single time and get a bucket. What are you doing in practice every day? I'm talking about one go-to play. We need a bucket, or we need to get to the free throw line and stop the bleeding. You don't have nothing you can go to. How did you get to this level?
What if they scouted you, Bryce, and they just took that away?
That's not an excuse.
Bryce cutthroat.
Nah,
No.
because your one play, whatever your one play is, you go over it every day, and it has at least 3 options. So if option 1 doesn't work, option 2 probably gonna work to get you open shot or open drive. So that's what I'm saying. It don't matter what it is. Shit, I don't care. But you don't. What?
Here's what Bryce don't understand though too, and I tell people this all the time.
A lot of shit. Like as I'm watching, I don't understand a lot anymore. I just don't say nothing.
I'm saying though, Bryce, you don't understand though about like when motherfuckers ask me about you as a coach, right? One thing I give you credit for all the time. If you hand Bryce that clipboard, Bryce gonna draw up some shit.
Oh yeah.
Bryce got some shit you drop on that clipboard. Like, and that's one thing that maybe you don't give yourself enough credit because you be expecting other coaches to be able to do that. And
Dude.
I don't know that everybody can.
No, they can't. And that's what I'm coming to realize.
But that's the thing. Like, it's funny because over the summer, I used to grab the clipboard all the time and say, hey, man, do your shit. Hey, draw some shit. This is your time. I say, I'm not the X's and O guy on this team. That is your job.
In high school, most of it's not even really plays. Most of it is positions and how to play and putting the kid in the right position to play and how to succeed. And what I mean by that is, for instance, if the other team is playing a 1-3-1 zone,
Gotta have that 2-guard split.
Be attacking it with 2 guards. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if the other guard is not even good. It's just the fact that let me not have this one guard in the bind and get him trapped every time. Oh, okay. They go to a 2-3. Well, I should be attacking that zone with the odd. Like, it's just simple shit like that to me. As I'm watching more games, I'm just like, how do these people not know this?
Well, do you think sometimes they may feel limited because of their personnel?
I buy that as an excuse. The personnel thing to me is that goes into a different category of like, we're just not athletic. We're not as good. We're not as talented. But being able to execute that's a different category. Being able to like see what the defense is in and have basic, simple sets.
I tell you what this taught me though, what this basketball season taught me, the guys who you saw that was active and busy during quarantine on all of those coaching calls and all of those clinics, they're doing good. And the crazy part is a lot of them are running the same shit.
Can you give me an example?
I've seen a couple of teams
because I look at that the opposite, Dre.
Well, I look at one 6A team that's playing well, one 7A team that's playing well. They run the exact same horn set, and I know where they got it from. I was on the call. They run it, and they run variations off of it,
and it works.
And it works all the time.
All the time, yeah. Well, then that's fair.
But I'm seeing other coaches where it's like that zone might as well be trigonometry. Because they ain't figured that shit out.
They ain't figured that shit out, bro.
That zone look like calculus. But same coaches, when that zone look like calculus, they weren't busy during quarantine. They weren't on those calls.
So they ain't get better over the summer.
Hey. I'm gonna have another evaluation come April, and I'm gonna see who seniors is out here playing in live period and who seniors are getting signed, because it's gonna tell me at all of these HBCU calls where you have the chance to build relationships with college coaches, all of these calls they got had, there were some coaches that participated all the time. There were some coaches that were never participating. Do you have the college coach connections where you can make a call and get your senior connected?
But you know what's funny though? you say that, and I know it's a ton of high school coaches were on them calls, but from where I'm from, and in a lot of different smaller areas outside the metro area, they always say if you're good enough, they'll find you.
That ain't all. It's true most of the time, but not always.
I say it's not true at all because
I'm with Locke.
Well,
because
I'm not really with you guys on that.
If you're a 5-star and you're doing windmills and jumping out of the gym, scoring 40 a game, yeah, they're gonna find you.
But
because
in this day and age, everybody tweets on every single kid.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like if you're not even getting plugged in, it's like okay, if you're good, you're gonna get recognized early.
Right.
We see ninth graders come out of nowhere, be good.
And have offers.
10th grade, I don't know with offers. So it's like if you're good, somebody's going to see you. You're not going to be a hidden kid if
Correct.
you're really that kid. But like I say, the coaches will not. They're not going to. They're just going to do enough to get that check, whatever, get their paycheck every at the end of the year.
It's just a different. The seasons are different, and the AAU coaches sometimes have more time. Or they're in that season to where college coaches can connect with them. We can hook up and go have a drink. We can hook up after this because they're off. They're not in season when AAU is in season.
This is not even about the A. This is not.
I'm gonna disagree.
Yeah, this is not about AAU coaches, Bryce. Because look at this. How many kids we know still go to school that don't play AAU?
Huh?
It's a ton of kids that don't play AAU still go to college.
Yeah, but I think the majority of them still playing some.
No, I don't say that because it's the kids that we know. It's kids that they had Kendrick High School out of Columbus, and they committed to CVCC. I never seen these kids a day in my life.
That's true.
I went down to Columbus, watched these kids, told some coaches about them. Boom.
All I'm saying is, like. Even I look at 2 summers ago, we knew there were sleepers that were going to have a breakout spring or summer.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't happen no more because everybody tweets on everybody.
True. But this is my thing though. Not everybody.
Video dudes are tweeting on kids. Scouts are tweeting on kids. Coaches are tweeting on kids. How are you not being seen?
In Atlanta, that's not the standard for everywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this though, Bryce, when it comes to AAU coaches. When is the off season for AAU?
There isn't one.
There isn't really one.
Because AAU coaches have a day job, but yet they find the way to be at these high school games all the time. Yet they find a way to still coach AAU and be there during weekends. Why can't high school coaches be in the gym in the summer? Especially you ain't got to go to work.
So let me ask you this.
Like if connecting your kids and making your program better and being able to help your kids get on is so important, you should have your ass in the gym. It ain't like you got a job to go to in the summertime.
Know what I realized this year? A lot of head coaches are not hoop heads.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's true.
You got to be a junkie sometimes.
Like a lot of head, and look, all the high major programs, their head coaches are hoop heads.
Yeah,
they know about all the kids. They know about the kids that are coming up. They know about kids from other programs. They're at the AAU tournaments. Them are hoop head junkies. They're all. It's a reason why we see the same high school coaches in the gym.
Yes.
They want to see who's next. They want to see how their kids are doing, how they playing in the summer, so that they get them in the fall. What they need to do.
And they enjoy being around basketball people, so they enjoy being in the gym talking shit.
I'm sorry, I still disagree with that, bro. Like with the rural area, like I disagree, man. There ain't no. It's not okay. Yes, there's your occasional sleeper. Yes, of course. But for the most part, let's say
Hey, don't get me. Hey, I can go down a list.
I got a ton.
Hey, you know what you do, Coach? Hey, go to 7A, 6A, and 5A. Just start there and pull up everybody's record. And for every bad team, below 500 team, I would almost be willing to bet that they're not in the gym in the summer. Every good team, they probably have a head coach or assistant that's in the gym in the summertime. You go by their record. Hey man, when you bad, sometimes you bad for a reason.
Just got
some of those people are bad because they got on the coaching clinic and they still don't have a clue what they're talking about or have a feel for the game.
Hey man, I don't know, Bryce.
Some people just don't have a feel for the game, bro. Like it is. Let's keep it a buck, bro. You still have to have a feel for what you're doing, and and how to sub and how to when let a kid do his you got to have a feel for some of that shit, bro. And some of it. That's why over the summer I got on one of those conference calls, and then I would get off. I would take a break from them. And I would go do another one maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Because at the end of the day, bro, it ain't, yes, we could talk about that shit all day long, but you still have to have a feel for the game.
Mm.
And I can sit on this computer all day long and listen to you and look at your face, and that might be my problem. But you got to have a feel for how the game is going, bro.
So how you feel like you get a feel for the game? How do you get a feel? Explain to the people.
I think it starts when you're a kid and you have to play. You have to play. You have to be taught.
So basically, what I just said, because I know coaches, especially maybe not here in Atlanta, but it's a lot of coaches in the middle of Georgia, Augusta, Savannah. Those are football guys. Like those guys probably play football.
And don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean you're not a good coach. But I think
that's not making you. But you're not a hoop head. Basketball is really not your first sport.
Yeah. You got to be in the gym, dog.
You got to be in the gym.
You got to be in the gym.
You got to be in the gym.
And you got to have a feel for players. I feel like a lot of coaches' problems ain't necessarily the X and O's, is they can't relate to
the kids.
They can't relate to the kids. Like I was talking to a parent, and I was like, hey, man, I think we talked about it on the show. Like, it's fine for you to bench a kid. It's fine when a kid messing up and you want to take them out of the game. That's fine. But you can't bench a kid and not say nothing to him.
Okay. So I feel like
leave him down there and not say nothing to him.
If you say something to him the first time, you don't have to say something to him after that.
But I feel like that's where you got good assistant coaches from. Because it's been time Bryce went off on kids. And I made sure I was there to comfort them because I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, man, fuck Bryce, man. I don't know why. Boo, 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 boo. No, for real, because that's Bryce already gave them a mouthful. So it's like I'm not finna get them a mouthful. I'm gonna just like, hey man, forget them. I'm gonna throw you back in the game in a minute. This guy about to mess up.
But my thing is good, bad, or indifferent. Like something. Right? Like, I'll never forget, went to Georgia State. And you know me, I love sitting behind the bench because I love hearing how coaches relate to their kids. Mm-hmm. Coach Lanier was cussing this dude. He was on his head, dog. Like, the kid yelling back at the coach yelling at the kid. They going at it. To me, it was masterful because he gave the kid a minute to go down to the end of the bench and cool off, right?
Mm-hmm.
He called him back down there, right? And he's sitting beside the coach, and Lanier's drawing it up on the board, and he's, you know what I mean? Like, it's still a sense of urgency, but he's pointing at him and telling him, like, bro, I'm telling you to do this. You know what I'm saying? So they had that minute where they had to blow up. He gave him a second to cool off. He didn't hold it against them. I see a lot of coaches that hold a lot of petty shit against players.
I do agree with that.
When the competition is high and everybody's blood is boiling and everybody competing, Like you know what I mean? It's gonna be some friction sometimes. But he didn't take that shit personal. He got the kid back down there, and then they explained it, and he put his ass back in the game, and the kid who?
Yeah.
To me, that's a coach.
But Dre, and here's the thing about that: understanding that he understands at the end of the day, this is not personal. We're out here to do the job.
Yes, yeah.
And
we competing.
When you win as a coach, when you cross over that personal boundary in the game or in practice, that's when things go bad. You know what I mean? If I keep this shit professional and it's a business, I ain't worried about you, bro. Because I'm gonna put you back out there and you're gonna do what I told you to do, and you're gonna get it done. That's your job. You know what I mean? That's what you're here to do. So, but as again, another thing that some coaches can't separate.
But also, like, you got to understand that the game is mental too, and emotional. How you feel matters. So if you don't feel like the coaches have any confidence in you, if you don't have any like, how are you gonna play? Like, I feel like AAU coaches do a masterful job of instilling confidence in a kid. It's not playing a kid no matter what they do. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes you got to pump them up and make the kid believe that he can do certain things because you see it on the inside of him. He may not be performing that way just on some plug and play shit, but like, man, like
you gotta put it in their mind ahead of time that this is what I think that you should be doing, or I see you doing in the future. So I'm going to give you a week and a half to try to figure this shit out. Now, if you can't figure it out, that's on you. I got to find somebody else.
There you go.
I'm going to try. Now, the thing about it is, if they can actually do it, that's when you got the money. That's when the money come in. If the kid can actually do what you are telling him to do, that's when Chase got really good. You know what I mean? That's when Terrell Ard got really good. Like, nah, you playing the 3 and the 4, but you really bringing the ball up. You're gonna do everything. But I need you to be on this wing for the majority of them. When you start to figure it out and they can put it together and put those, that's when you got the money.
But Bryce, that's why you're good at what you do, and you can't discount that.
But you know what? And I
can't do that.
And I look at that too. And I look at it from a high school perspective, and I look at it from an AAU perspective. Would I be able to do that as a high school coach? I don't know, because I need to win games, and I need to win games now. So it doesn't really matter. I don't really necessarily care whether I put a 6'4", 6'5" kid as a center if it's going to help me win games.
It's going to help me win the games.
Win games. That's my job. So I've been looking at that too. Like, we know that kid needs to play somewhere else to help his development. But I also understand that shit. The coach gonna put him where he need to put him so he can win.
True.
But in the summer, in the spring and the summer is because even if I lose, I'm not gonna worry about it. But if I feel like you got better in that position and it's gonna position you for something greater, I didn't really lose.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? It's a different end game.
But do you think sometimes, well, let's just say if a kid, like we always use Amarion Smith, dominates down low, dominates. Yeah. Now, it looked like he's made, but sometimes we see Amarion maybe step out sometimes from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Or he might be at the 3-point line, but we know his bread and butter is down low.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I just think a lot of coaches probably do that, like, hey,
because that's what
he's going to get you some spot minutes over here. Yeah. But when we get in the nick of things, hey, like I said, we doing them duckings, doing them hollows. We doing that because that's going to win us the game.
But if you look at that kid, and he's probably 6'4", maybe. So even if we're looking at Division II school or maybe Division I, he's not going to be in that position, most likely. Mm-hmm. And people say, well, you shouldn't judge somebody based off their height. Okay. All right. So let's say we don't judge him based off his height. Well, I mean, he's going to be down there going against somebody who's 6'8". And guards and 2 and 3 guards are 6'4". So that's, you know what I mean. So we look at kids like that and you say, where does he project? Where do I see him projecting? And that's why sometimes a lot of those kids go high major and mid major, because their projection is, and it's matching their skill set. And then we have kids that skill set doesn't match them. You know what I mean? So for him, his skill set is very high still.
Extremely high.
His strength is, he's extremely strong. He's extremely prepared. His body is prepared. So what's the one thing that can probably ensure that he gets to where he needs to be? He's probably got to come away from the basket a little bit more.
Show that he can do one or two things. Either show that he can make shots, or show that he can handle the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Either one of those two things or both helps that kid a lot.
Let's think about it. You put him at a 3.
Wait, I got another example. We always talk about Amarion. Let's talk about Bobby Moore and McKeitry.
Hey, Bobby Moore has improved his shooting a lot.
Bobby Moore's improved his whole.
Well.
Yeah.
But can Bobby Moore play on the wing at the next level?
If he wants to, I'm gonna just say this: it is what it is. I think if he wants to play Division I, he's got to play the 3.
But is he capable?
I don't necessarily know that Division I is necessarily the right spot for Bobby.
No. I'm not saying that.
I agree with you, Dre.
I'm not saying that. But every kid, especially a kid like him who plays at the highest level, highest high school, has aspirations of playing Division I. So that's what I'm going off of.
For sure. Yeah.
Shooting wise, his shooting has improved. His ball handling has improved. His game has improved. So all I'm saying is, if he wants to play at the next level, I think he has to move to the perimeter and be able to guard perimeter players. That's it. That's it.
So let's say this then, like you just said,
I think
he's playing at a high level at high school. Now, if he wants to stay playing at that high level, like Dre said, he may not need to go Division I because he's going to degress instead of progress. You get what I'm saying? Because he's used to playing high level basketball. So if he's not used to playing at that level, it's some high level D2s.
Oh yeah,
they're better than low major D1.
Yeah, I mean they have a D2 national championship, of course. But
so it's like maybe he need to go D2 so he can still be that top kid, you know, that 6'4", 6'5", still be able to dominate down low. Instead of going Division I, 6'4", 6'5", he's barely playing. So he's not progressing.
I think he will be a great Peach Belt kid.
I agree.
But it
depends on what he wants to do.
That's what I'm saying. It's not what he wants to do. But Dre, you know that because you've seen Peach Belt basketball. You've seen the levels. You've seen Division I kids come from the state or from the city of Atlanta and play sparingly at the Division I level, and they have all the tools. So it's tough, man. It's tough, especially now. But that's just the difference for me. Like for me, I look at a Kai Simmons and I say, shit, what I got to lose if I put this man on the wing? If I have time with him, if I have time, and I say, what I got to lose? Only thing I can do is game. Because if it does work out, shit, I'm looking at a 6'6", 3. Then you got a player. So I approach it, and I think that's what you were saying too. Like the AAU coaches approach it different from the high school coach. The high school coaches got to win games. You are what you are right now. You are what you are.
But you know what though, Bryce? I agree and I disagree because this is the thing. I hear a lot of high school coaches complaining about high school coaches that get players. Well, they got these kids, they got this kid. Well, why do you think those kids want to come there?
Because they develop them.
That's what I'm saying.
They get them to the next level.
You can't
they're developing and getting them on. Yeah.
You can't necessarily expect a kid to sacrifice everything for you to win when that state championship don't do for the kid what it does for your career.
Yep.
That state championship might get you a better job, get your wife a better car, but it may not necessarily get that kid to his goal.
That's true.
So, like, to me, it's got to be some give and take. Which this reminds me of this is a good question. What do you do when the high school needs you to play a spot that's not complementary to the kid's style of play?
I'm never an advocate of, like, if a kid is upset or a parent is complaining or whatever, or not, this isn't the right fit, I am going to be the last person that's probably going to tell you to have a conversation or to do something you're not supposed to do when it comes to a coach, because I've been in that position and I know how it feels. If that coach feels like this is the best thing for you and your situation, that's what you got to make the most of it. That's just my opinion.
Worry about what you can control.
Control and try to make the most out of it. If I'm a 6'1" guard, but I got to play the 4, shit, and I got to play the 4, and I got to figure out a way to get a bucket.
But guess what? That same coach might let you get the rebound. You push it up the floor.
Push you up, yeah. So I'm just, I'm not one that's just not my thing. Like, I've had plenty of people come and say, well, man, this kid at this post grad, they not letting them do this or that. Shit, man, it is what it is, bro. You got to make the most of your situation. You got to still show that you're one of the, you got to show that you're good. Either way.
I would say when it comes to that, and I'm kind of like Bryce, but not exactly. I'm not tripping on what position they're asking the kid to play on defense. But I am a big proponent of your skill set should dictate what you do on offense.
Yeah.
If you're a good 3-point shooter, if you're a good 3-point shooter, and I'm saying good meaning at the high school level, you can shoot over 35% consistently. I mean, you're a pretty good 3-point shooter.
Right.
And your coach is saying that you can't shoot it just because you're 6'4" and he needs you in the post. I think that would be problematic.
Probably.
But a good coach is not going to do that.
But a good coach is going to allow you to have a feel for the game. And honestly, a lot of what I've seen anyway, they're letting a lot of these kids play. So it's a lot of positionless anyway, for the most part.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're kind of all over. Sometimes, so like I that's why I kind of have an issue with it at some points, and at some points I don't. It's like some points you let them play, but then when they need structure, there's no structure. You know what I mean? So that's a tough one. That's a tough one. But I mean, I feel like you just got to play. You got to get it done. And if it doesn't work out for you, then you make a decision at the end of the season.
Yeah, and he's got to prove, like, the way you want to play, is that going to really win him games? Because sometimes you have to really just prove yourself. Like Dre said, if you can knock down threes, you need to show in the game when you're wide open. It's automatic.
Yeah,
you going 3 for 5, 5 for 7, something like that, 5 for 8.
And even at the next level, most people are going to tell you that they play positionless basketball anyway. So 1 through 4, you got to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot regardless where you are on the floor. So, and that's the one thing that kind of makes Randy Brady really good, because he's 6'4", whatever he is, but he'll take your ass down to the post and get a bucket. He can about hit 3. Yeah. It was like, you can't look at him and say, well, damn, like, oh, he in the wrong position. He's playing basketball. He's a basketball player. You know what I mean? If I have a mismatch on me right now and I got somebody guarding me that's 5'9", shit, I'm
finna body him.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch him in the ISO, get a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Shit. If I gotta stand in the corner in the zone, in the gap, and shoot the 3, I'm gonna shoot the 3. And that's my thing. Is just like, I don't really buy into that too much. I feel like unless, like Dre said, unless it's a situation.
I ain't know Chase Adams play for Portland.
Yeah.
Whoa, I ain't seen that kid in years.
It's good for him because he's not very big.
Dude, that was the YouTube sensation.
He needed to be to get to that level, honestly. That shit hard.
He's small as shit.
Yeah, he's small. Yeah.
I ain't mean to interrupt y'all. I did not know that.
I've been noticing a lot, man. I've been noticing a lot. Like, I also noticed a lot of schools don't use that baseline on offense either. But that's a topic for another day.
Okay. What you notice about players? Like, give us the good and the bad.
I actually think the players that I watch for the most part are pretty skilled. And that's one thing I will say. The players nowadays, I think, because they have so much access to different things,
There's so much skill now.
Yeah, they're more
Very
athletic, they're more skilled. They can all. That's why we look at. There's so many unsigned kids, but they're all good. And I think that's just because they play more. They have more access to trainers. People want to work with them, stuff like that. So I notice I don't really necessarily watch the kids as close. I watch a little bit of both. You know what I mean? I try to watch a little bit of the strategy and a little bit of the player. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, a lot of these kids can shoot. A lot of them are athletic. A lot, like when I was playing high school, I don't think this many kids could dunk, honestly. Like now you see high school layup lines, just about everybody's dunking. You might have had maybe 4 or 5 kids on varsity that could dunk every time. Every kid dunks in the like that's the norm nowadays. And I think that's because they all have they can get to the Vertimax. They get so I think that as far as the IQ goes and their knowledge of the game, their deep knowledge of the game, I think it lacks a little bit. But
now,
sometimes
why do you think it lacks?
It could be their coaching.
So you blame it on the coach, you don't blame it on the kids?
Both.
They're both.
Because I think kids too don't watch basketball. Like
they watch highlights.
Like I'm watching the game, I'm watching USC Arizona, but are you really watching to see where they are taking shots, what screens they're coming off of, how they're getting themselves open? So if you can't do that, then how can you play at that level?
Well, like you said, I feel like a ton of kids just watch highlights.
They watch just highlights, yeah.
They stay on Instagram, on Twitter, they watch highlights all day. And we did it too. And one was our highlight, but once we watch and one, we go outside and go try to do those moves.
Yeah, that's true. We did, but we still watch real games too.
No, we watch real games, yeah, because like you say, you didn't have the Sling TVs, YouTube. So when a game came on, you sat down and watched that game. Yeah. It wasn't no rewatch it later, watch it tomorrow, watch it later on the night. That game came on at 8. You sat down at 8 and watched that game at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So I mean, and I think also thinks it also is about who's teaching them as well. Who's teaching you the game and what are philosophies? And I think that's very important. Because if anybody, if you ask me, some things that I'm going to require somebody to do, like if a kid plays for me and he jumps off 1 foot and passes the ball, he's not going to play again.
He's not going to play again.
You tough.
You sit down.
You tough.
Because I know.
Hey, what if it's not a turnover, B?
Nah, because that shit just gets out of hand. Because and then the pass where they're coming off the pick and roll and they throw it over their head like a backwards hook pass. No,
like that. Yeah,
you can keep that shit with your trainer. That shit ain't gonna work, bro.
Ain't, bro. So are you mad at the kids? They do the same foot, same hand layup.
They shouldn't be doing that at 17 anyway, but I don't see that. I'm just saying.
I have seen a lot of kids get a lot of tough layups off with the same hand, same foot, and use their other leg to shield them off.
I know what you're talking about. Nah, that's cool. I don't care about that. I'm talking about basic fundamental things like jump stops, passing, handling the ball. Basic fundamental things that don't work for me. But it might work for somebody else.
Hey, I just want y'all to hear that. All y'all 17U people, if you can't decide whether you're gonna play for Man Up or the Georgia Canes, I said if you throw a hook pass, you can't play for him. You about to go sit down.
Hey, you can throw your hook passes from Andre.
I'm your Uncle Elroy.
Now I'm okay with one-handed passes as long as you don't jump and pass it or pick up your dribble. But the minute you jump And you looking for somebody to pass to?
I don't like one-handed passes that much either, Bryce. If we're gonna keep it a buck.
I mean, you want to get to the next level, it is what it is. It's gonna get worse. So,
Hey man, I got something to show y'all that I saw float across.
But the crazy thing is, though, at the same time, Dre, I'll be letting kids play. It's just certain things that you can't do. That's just gonna like make me lose my mind.
Hey man, guess who else gonna have Nike uniforms this year?
Hey,
We got some ones on the way, so I hope you got a couple pair. Couple different colors.
Guess who else gonna have Nike uniforms this year, dog? Sheesh. Hey man, it ain't just gonna be our 17s neither, man. 16s gonna have Nike. It's gonna be nice. No, I got something to show y'all. Check this out.
One of the best kids I have ever coached in my entire career. One of the best student athletes that I have ever been around. If I had 15 of him, which I do this year, I probably could coach for another 30 years. But he's an unbelievable person. And that's a credit to how he was raised.
Give up, but you always gotta keep faith and have patience. God always gonna put you through tests and tribulations, but it's just to better you and to get stronger. I want to thank the Viking family for helping me succeed academically and becoming a better person. And with my faith, I want to thank Coach Black. A lot of this stuff wouldn't be possible without Coach Black. Just put me in a situation to showcase my talent, just helping me each and every day, not let me be average, becoming 1% better. And I want to thank my family, just being a great support system. My mom and my stepdad, they sacrificed so much for me. And I want to thank my friends. With that being said, I will be committed to Voorhees College.
Every time a car passing by, I don't wanna be Ricky or another victim of homicide. Cause I know the soul never died. I made the chrome fly. I'm a wave road tie. Bullets at your face, bow tie. My persona done got a tongue tied. I was taught that the legend never die. When the time gotta let the lead fly. Cause I'm a wild baby. Post-traumatic stress, I know the war changed me. Had to bend back, but they could never break me. Had to slide. We was hopping out in broad day. Serving fiends in the hallway. From Methazine to the morning. Hope I don't wake up tomorrow. We was the type of nigga that'll rob the robbers. I'ma make the chopper sing like.
Hey man, our boy Huff got one.
Hey, that's dope. Hey man, Huff like the new freak in the city, man. He out here. He like that new freak out there, man. He out here getting things done. Out here serving them up.
Hey, Huff got this thing going, man.
Is that 2 or 3 commitments?
That Huff got?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot more than that.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's a lot.
Oh, well, for 2021, I think this might be 3 or 4, I think.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm happy for Corey Black, though, too, man.
No, it's good for C Black.
The kids.
He's got a good class for 2021 kids.
He do.
Mm-hmm.
The kids that trusted C Black before Pacelli was a name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's big. They trusted C Black, and C Black is making sure that his kids D-free. That's what Corey Black is about. And he making sure they get right. So, man, Keyshawn, congratulations. I see you, Columbus.
Huff out here doing his thing, man. This was up.
He said he like the new freak in the city. Like you, hey, boy. Like hell, boy, I tell you.
I'm supposed to have our show by Sunday, right?
Hey, that wire in smoke. Hey. That YRN smoke was going heavy on Twitter this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said anything, but you know, as I was,
Bryce, why everybody calling you out?
I don't know. I ain't worried about it. Cool with
Bryce
it.
put a target on his back, man.
How?
Because Bryce, you got your own show. We always talking about the Canes. You always think about it. Out of all the ANU teams in Georgia, I feel like you promote your kids the most from 17U, in my opinion.
Is that a bad thing?
No, that's not a bad thing, but other people see that.
Yeah, that's
so they were like, so you building up the target because think about it, you drop your alumni kids and your current kids and the younger kids.
Yeah.
So it's like he's
I flood the streets.
Yeah, you flood the streets. So people see that. Who's flooding the streets from middle school kids all the way to 17U?
Probably nobody.
What program just flooding the streets with all their kids, even the alumni? Hey, man, one of these kids, one of the alumni kids get a dunk in the game. Bryce gonna put it out there.
Yep. And I'm gonna find a way to reword it and post that shit. It is what it is. You know what? I look at it like this. If I didn't do this, I would be on Twitter posting some wild shit. So I try to channel my energy to something positive.
Hey man. And they're not worried about us, Dr. Love. We
Hey man, you gotta crawl before you walk, Drake.
Yeah.
You gotta crawl before you walk, Drake.
Hey, listen, I mean, you know, we'll see.
It's coming,
Hopefully
Drake.
somebody will want to come and even play for us, man. We just a poor, lonely, independent program. We just, you know, so happen to be.
Hey man, come on. I don't think all them prep schools David be talking to.
Right. Well, you gonna have some people. You gonna have plenty of people. But
like Drake gonna have about 4 20-year-olds.
Yeah,
playing 17U.
I don't think Dre is going to have the same introduction to 17U that I had.
No.
I had an introduction. Then that shit was real. And I was like, whoa.
What you mean? Why wouldn't I have that same introduction?
Why
would it be just as hard for me?
Because I think it's a different the circumstances are different with COVID and stuff like that. But like my introduction was a Saturday night game at 8 p.m. on court 1 in front of who knows how many coaches, and you playing a team from Florida, and they throwing lobs from half court.
Yeah, I might not get that same type of love. I hope so, though.
I don't know if you're gonna get that.
I might not have.
He will if he got them 20-year-olds.
No, I was getting dunked on though. We were getting dunked on.
No, I wasn't on the bench. You was getting dunked on. I wasn't on the bench.
You were on the bench then. Yeah,
I was laughing.
Yes, that shit was embarrassing. I think yes. That's what I said. I don't know if they're gonna get that kind of introduction because we had kids that didn't play together too. They didn't want to pass. You know what I mean? Like
true. But
there's a couple kids that didn't never. I think one of them kids is probably still shooting every shot. I don't know where he is today, but
JUCO.
Bryce had one that was shooting every time, bro.
Mm-hmm. See, I didn't know how to handle that before that at that point. I know how to handle your ass now.
Hey, you ever seen one of them running quarterbacks that when they run the option, they never pitch? Hey, Bryce had a point guard that was like that. Nah, he not pitching.
Nah, he's not
passing, bro. He's shooting. They double teamed him, triple teamed him, whole team teamed him. That shit going up.
They're not kicking that shit out, bro. They gonna kick that shit out now, though. Well, guess what they're gonna be?
This is gonna be a new thing for me because we moving in. We're gonna have some nice some nice new Nike uniforms, and I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be crazy. 17U. I'm gonna have to collect my uniforms after every game. Like it's gonna be nuts.
Hey,
I can't wait for Dre to play like the Upward Stars, and they got like 2 7-footers.
Man, I want to see who's gonna match up with D Favors.
Yeah, they tough.
Hakeem gonna have some players, you know. Mason, you got what's the guard name?
Arlington,
Arlington. Yo, man, that 17 UD favors. I feel like it's gonna. They may be the AC Georgia this summer. AC Georgia had couple of kids. I think they might be D favors 17U.
You know how we say you can really shoot when you pull up and everybody on the bench stand up and put their hands up. That's how you know you can really shoot. That Anthony Arrington kid, when he pulls up, everybody on the bench stands up. Oh, that's good. 3. They making that sound. What's that sound Pebblebrook be making? Boom, boom, boom. Like every time somebody shoot a 3, that's gonna be tough. I don't want that problem. I'm good. I'll let Bryce handle that. I don't want that problem. I'm good.
And you got a kid, what's his name? Gattius?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the Westlake.
He's cold.
I'm gonna wait till y'all graduate those kids, and then we'll play y'all next year.
Hey, but thing is, Dre, you really got a head start because Bryce went from 8th grade straight to 17U.
Yeah,
he didn't have that foundation. Just
I had no
build up.
I ain't had no connection to no grads, no prep schools.
Yeah, he got fired from exclusive and got picked up by the Canes.
Yeah.
Did you really get fired from exclusive though, B?
On his day off.
Because it does exclusive still have an organization? Are they still playing games?
Nah, I don't think so.
So did you get fired if they're not playing anymore?
Tell them the story having that running report.
What they
tell them the story at running report event. Tell them the story. Tell them the story. It's over. That's like 4 years ago.
You know what's funny about all that stuff is I ain't gonna say that. It's yeah.
Hey, you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it.
All that shit is funny.
I know what happened at the runner report epic camp.
When he got on a loudspeaker and said Matthew Cleveland was playing with the Georgia Stars.
Yeah, I remember something happened.
Yeah, he said something like that. I don't remember. And I was looking up like, what are you talking about? But you know what's funny about all that? You guys
ever wear a Georgia Stars uniform?
Huh?
Did Matt Cleveland ever wear a Georgia Stars uniform? I about to say I didn't think that ever happened.
Secretly, I tried to send him because at the time Locke was with Under Armour. Tried to send him to Locke.
No. Madison came with us as a 9th grader.
I know Madison came. I'm talking about Cleveland.
Man,
and he ended
up already had that movie.
He ended no. He ended up going to Team Force, I think. But what happened was, it's too much. It's too much.
I would love to, hey, I'm gonna tell you something, Bryce. I would love to coach Madison one time. Watching him, I would love to coach like Madison. I could be one of those coaches that sat down if I had Madison.
But now when you're playing nationally ranked other 8th grade teams too.
Shit, Madison coach on the floor, dog.
No, he's a coach.
Guess what? Guess what, Dre? He may be back in the spring, so just stay tuned.
Hey, Madison, you don't want to play for the Georgia Canes, man. If you throw a hook pass, Bryce gonna take you out.
Nah, I'm gonna let him go. He can do it.
I'm gonna tell you the funniest story what Madison did to me as a 9th grader. He did the head coach, my homeboy named Pierre, who was coaching Express. And the kid, Bam Whitfield was on the team. We told Bam to go get the ball. Madison waved Bam off and the head coach off. And Pierre was just like, I can't handle this motherfucker. He waved everybody off. And that was like the funniest shit ever. Because I'm like, he really waved the coach off.
Yeah, they'll do that too.
That's funny.
But Madison, good kid, man. I wish, like true floor general. True coach on the floor. Big guard. Yeah.
Facts. One time. One time for the one time.
So before we go, Bryce, Mondre, who is on your hit list for ANU this summer? What teams are you aiming for? Because Bryce, we missed out on a lot of teams last summer.
Only game I really wanted to play last summer was YRN.
I feel like we missed YRN, we missed AC Georgia, we missed the Timberwolves.
I wasn't tripping on the Timberwolves. I ain't really want to.
I wasn't tripping, but they went to the Battle of Georgia.
They love. Yeah, I wanted to play YRN for the culture though, but that was it. Because I feel like, even though our age groups were different, I still feel like they weren't different. I feel like
they had a 17U. They had a 17U.
Yeah, it would have been. I feel like it would have been a good game.
All right. So who's on your hit list this summer? Still YRN?
Yeah, I want to play YRN.
Mondre, who's on your hit list?
I really don't have one. I don't care. I got whoever they give us is what we got to do. Mondre just want to try to win a game first.
For 17, I can't have no hit list.
No, I'm talking about 16. Your group. That's your 16. Your 2023 kids is your group. So who is on your hit list?
Oh, we want to play the games.
Yeah, that game was about to be that was going to be the best game of the weekend.
We want to play.
Let me say something. Jelani Hamilton.
It's tough,
but they got Jelani Reynolds. I don't think if Jelani can get Jelani Reynolds get this right.
Hey,
I don't know how much Drake gonna do it, but if he can get this right.
Hey, we're working on some mind melting. You know what I'm saying? We're working on it. I think it was going to be a good game. I wanted to play that game because it would have been so important for our kids. I know college coaches would have watched that game. I think if we match up this year, college coaches will watch. And it's hard to get college coaches to watch a 16U game. That's not an easy thing to do necessarily.
Now with these two, I don't think they're going to be loaded.
Yeah. So I think that's
I'm bringing in some young boys for that young team too.
I want to see. But I would have liked to play y'all. Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to play TSF. Everybody, especially they 2023s. Like you, if you want to know what you made of, it's Isaiah Collier, Kanan Carlisle. It's what I'm saying. Like that's
so. EYA Sportsmen calling out TSF.
They got
2023
team to do it.
They've been calling out TSL for a while, so that's a matchup I want to see.
They got the horses to do it. Honestly, EYA is probably the one group that, like, we got to get in the lab. We got to watch some film. Like, we got to. That's a tough ass team.
They're gonna play hard as hell.
They're gonna play hard.
And they're gonna run some backdoor screen or that lob up over your head.
Tough ass team. So, but no, we just want to compete, man. So we want to go against the guys. We want to compete. Go against the guys that's making noise. So, but man, that's our show for this week. I appreciate y'all. What's today? Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Good grief, boy.
Time's flying by.
Flying by.
It was a long week, man. It was my first week back from work to work in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was an adjustment.
For sure, man. I hope everybody is safe. Everybody is healthy. Man, rest in peace to everybody that lost their life yesterday in those events in the Capitol. There was one police officer that lost his life. Man, rest in peace. Everybody stay healthy. I see that he got his hit list out there.
He got his hit list. Oh man.
Everybody stay healthy, man. Everybody take care of yourself. Man, go get tested. Know your status, man. Make sure you've been or if you've been around anybody impacted by COVID, if you feel like you have some symptoms, man, know your status. Go get tested. And if you have a student athlete that's been exposed, make sure they have been tested for that heart inflammation issue. We don't want anybody else collapsing, having issues, being found in ICU or anything like that, man. Take care of yourself, man. Y'all be easy. It's the Love of the Game podcast, man. We out.